Hey there everybody, I hope everything is well for you. This is going to be my first monthly video during my break. So we're going to be looking at pure off-road longboards. The only ones I'm going to really go over and consider to this list are ones that are pretty much stock built. They're made pretty much the same for everybody, and they're pretty much just a slap the wheels on and go kind of thing. I'm not going to include the DIYs or Trampa boards or the E-Tox boards, just because I feel like Trampa and the E-Tox are very similar to a DIY build, just a more respected brand under it, which they're great boards. I'm not going to say they're not. They are definitely great boards to have. I like things kind of in a stock build, and you know what it's like, especially if you're going to get into like a racing kind of thing. The first brand I'm going to bring up is Baja Boards. The one we're going to talk about here is going to be the Baja Boards Pantera. So it has a top speed of 44 miles an hour, which I just think that's just a beast. The range has 31 miles. The weight of it though is 57 pounds, which is pretty damn heavy. And then of course the price is not really defined. I looked around a lot. They say to email the company to get a price point on them, which is kind of crazy. So I kind of based it off of the G4X, which was $4,649. So the Pantera is obviously going to be well over that. So just some information about the Pantera. So it is belt driven. It has a 10S battery with 1,100 watts hours. It has four 3.5 kW motors. It has four 110A motor controllers. It does come with alloy rims, which is really nice, because even though I have plastic on mine, they've been starting to chip a little bit, so I know there's going to be a time when I'm going to have to go to alloy rims. So having that right off the bat is kind of nice. And obviously what Baja Board is known is the independent wheel suspensions, which I think is a huge perk for those. Definitely, if you don't want to be getting beaten up and stuff with your legs, they're kind of nice to have as more of a comfort ride. It does have lights on the front and the back, which is nice for visibility, even though I still wear a light on my helmet. The more light the better. And then on the website itself, when you're looking at the Pantera product, it says not for beginners, so it's definitely got a lot of torque behind it, and then with that speed, like, you have to kind of know what you're doing to be dealing with something like that. Next we have the Baja Board G4X. The top speed for that is 37 miles an hour, which is pretty nice. It's kind of why I like those boards. Like, even though I've only hit 32, I like that there's a little bit more give yet, so I haven't reached its full potential, which makes me want to keep enjoying it, riding it. Like, I'm not going to get bored with it or anything. It has a 21 mile range, which is right around the spot that I like. I do like to have at least 20, just, you know, you can get a good ride in and then some, you know. The weight of it is 55 pounds, which is still kind of a little too heavy for me. But, you know, that's also my opinion. I just don't like having to lug that around or something when things happen. The price for this is $4,649, like we talked about before. So just like the Pantera, it is also belt driven. This one has a 45% hill grade, so that's pretty steep for you to be able to like boogie up some hills and stuff with it. It has four 63 mm brushless motors. I think that's millimeter, but I could be wrong. This also has lights as well, the front and back. Again, the independent wheel suspension. Has a max payload of 350 pounds for cruising. Obviously, if you're going to be riding a little bit harder, the payload's going to drop. So then the next one, which is what I have, is the Baja Board G4. It has a top speed of 34 miles per hour. It has a range of 24 miles, which I do kind of like that better compared to the X. Just even at 3 miles, I just feel like it makes a difference in my eyes anyways. The weight of it is 44 pounds, which is a little bit lighter. It's still a little bit heavier than I would like it, but the price is $3,749. It is belt driven. This only has a 30% hill grade, so you do lose that with not having the 4-wheel drive, but that's still pretty good. So instead of 4 63mm brushless motors, this one only has 2. You still get the lights, which is front and the back. Again, independent wheel suspension, that doesn't change. This has a max payload of 350 pounds for general commuting, so a little bit better. I'm curious, I wonder if that is a little bit better than cruising. I would say general commuting, you'd be moving around a little bit more, but yeah, let me know if I'm wrong there in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's how I would kind of consider it. But yeah, let me know. Let me see if you think cruising would be a little bit more intense than general commuting. I didn't want to include the S2 in the segment just because I think it leans more towards of a hybrid side, even though they have the 10-inch wheels. Plus I already have 3 Baja boards on here, and I didn't want to keep, I didn't want to have a whole list full of their stuff. So the next company we're going to go to is EcoMobile. Another nice board, their M24 Pro. It has a top speed of 30, which does hit my sweet spot. So if I was somebody that was riding this, I wouldn't be too disappointed. It does have a range of 25 miles, which I like. I think that's pretty good. The weight of it, though, is 60 pounds, which I find to just be too heavy. The price of it is $2,677, which is pretty nice for what you get. It does have the 55% hill grade, which I think is pretty impressive. It has 4 3050W motors and then 82mm brushless motors. So I think these ones, well, technically they'd be considered bigger than the Baja Board's motors, but I feel like it's a little bit different because it's being ran on planetary gears, which my knowledge of that's pretty small because obviously I don't have one to sit there and maintain it, but I have definitely heard good things about it, and it is definitely kind of nice that you don't have to worry about rocks and debris getting caught up in your belt drive. This too also has an independent wheel suspension, and you do have an option to make it a 4-wheel or a 2-wheel drive, and then it also has lights for the front and the back. So next we have Propel X4S. Which before that they were Cycle Eagle, which wasn't too impressive, but now with it being this Propel company, I do feel like they've improved their products a lot more. So this does have a top speed of 29 miles per hour, which is okay. Obviously I'd like something that at least go 30 or more. It does have a range of 17 miles. I do feel like that's kind of short, but I've also seen that they have swappable batteries. So obviously if after you paid for it, it would cost more money for you to buy more batteries. But if you weren't trying to get a whole new board or something with better range, you can just get another battery and just swap them in. I do feel like that is a nice feature that they have. The weight of it is 60 pounds, which I've discussed before. I just feel like that's pretty heavy. And then the price is $2,299. Still have the independent wheel suspension. It has aluminum alloy gears. It has a 35% hill grade, which is just a little bit better than the G4. It has 4 6374 motors, and it has a 265 pound max payload. I'm assuming for cruising. If you were going more, it would drop down a little bit. Next we have the One Wheel XR. Even though it might not be considered a longboard, it's really its own thing, so I feel like it should be added here, considering it can also deal with the off-roading stuff. There are EUCs as well, but I believe there are multiple models of EUCs. If there is only one brand, let me know. I could always throw something on later for them, but I think I want to make them have their own video. So it has a top speed of 19 miles an hour. It has 18 miles of range. Obviously it's not the speed that I would like for a longboard, but the One Wheel has such a different feel. I'm actually not upset that that's all it can really do. The range I feel like could be slightly better though. And that, again, just, you know, my own personal opinion. I like some to have at least 20 miles of range. The weight of it though is 27 pounds, which I like a lot. And the price of it is only $1,799, which is pretty nice. I like it because there is no remote. Everything's foot pad censored, which I think is really neat. You do have lights in the front and back. They don't help like a whole lot. I would wear like a light on your helmet. It'll give you some better viewing. So this has a hypercore brushless motor inside the wheel, which is what helps you keep your balance. It's a very interesting mechanism for sure. It is app connected, which I think is really neat. It has a 30-degree lean angle, so isn't too bad. I think you could do it steeper if you customized your riding preference. Well, that about does it with talking about everything. Let's get to some rankings, and this is all based off of paper, not by any riding opinions or anything. So obviously the Baja Board Pantera was the fastest. Then we have the G4X, which had the 37, the G4 with 34, the EcoMobile Pro with 30, and then the Propel X4S with 29. After that, I have a range rank here. Number 1 is, again, the Baja Board Pantera with 31 miles of range. After that, it's going to be the EcoMobile Pro with 25. Then we have the G4 with 24. And then we have the G4X with 21. And then we'll have the One Wheel XR with 18. After that, I have a weight rank because I'm one of those where I think weight makes a difference. So first is going to be the One Wheel XR with the 27 pounds. After that will be the G4 with 44 pounds. And then it will be the G4X with 55 pounds. Then it will be the Baja Board with 57 pounds. And then Propel and EcoMobile are tied for 5th with 60 pounds. Next I have a price ranking. And again, it will be the One Wheel XR with $17.99. After that will be the Propel X4S. That's $22.99. Then we have the EcoMobile Pro M24, which is $26.77. After that will be the G4 with $37.49. And then the last will be G4X. That was $46.49. So prices might differ slightly when you see this video because I was editing and stuff. I mean, it's only November, so it's not that far off. So if it does change, I would think it would only change slightly. And with all that, I tallied everything in their rankings to see what was the best like overall board on paper. After tallying up all the like points in the ranks, I just did like first got 5 and last got 1. After tallying all that up, the best like overall board on paper would be the Baja Board Pantera and the Baja Board G4, which I was kind of surprised that G4 matched that. So if you were someone that couldn't be able to ride or test out any boards or haven't done it before or anything, just looking at specs and stuff, obviously I would think what I got, the G4, is your best option, but obviously price is always an issue for everybody. After that is actually the One Wheel. I think a lot of that came between the weight and the price of it. But if you want like a long board, and the One Wheel definitely has a different feel to it, obviously it wouldn't be your choice. And then after that, it's tied between the EcoMobile and the Baja Board G4X. So if weight wasn't a concern to you, EcoMobile will definitely be your better choice. And I do think that planetary gear system is really neat. So this was my own little chart of what I consider to be a off-roading board. After ranking that top 5 there with them being on paper, I took a poll on Facebook and pretty much asked everyone what they thought was the best, which I included the DIYs and Trampa. So pretty much the winner was the DIY builds. Obviously, if you know how to build these, as far as a popular opinion, the DIYs are the way to do it. Obviously, we're not talking about any money or anything, but as far as DIY is concerned, you're pretty much going to be able to build exactly what you want. So it does not come to a surprise to me that that was the most popular answer as the best off-roading board there is. After that, you have the Trampa board, which again, kind of similar to the DIY. Both excellent choices to have. So after that, going into the things that I've discussed, the most popular vote was the Baja board. So I hope you guys enjoyed this top 5 of off-roading boards. Even though it's still kind of a small group there, like there's not a whole lot of companies doing that, I still think you get a lot of nice boards. I'm not really talking down on any of them really. I feel like all of them are very nice boards. It just really depends on what exactly you're looking for. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you on the first Tuesday of January. Take care, everybody.